Corporate governance issues and trends always seem to function at two levels. There are first the topics that tie up scholarly articles, activists, interest groups, legislators, regulators, business news. These include the urgent need for stronger corporate governance regulation overall. Lately, this has been sparked by Volkswagen. And also more gender diversity in global boardrooms, the value of splitting the CEO and board chair roles in the US, and proxy access. All of these draw strong interest from governance observers, the only real debate being over how quickly to implement them. In the boardroom, though, there seems to be a disconnect from these concerns. For instance, it's impossible to do any online browsing on corporate governance as a topic without articles, manifestos, and research on the need for greater female board representation. Yet, a new PricewaterhouseCoopers survey of actual corporate directors found just 35% of men currently on boards thought having more women on boards was very important. And in fact, just two-thirds of the women directors surveyed thought so likewise. There also seems to be a real boardroom disinterest in dividing the CEO and chair roles, at least in the US. Of the S&P 500 companies, just 14 mandate that the roles be split. Some new Spencer Stuart research found only 38% of these top companies actually divide the role in practice, and many of these are probably temporary or transitional. Stephen Solomon, writing in the New York Times Deal Book section last month, noted, quote, "Studies have shown that a separation of the jobs fails to increase a company's value, and many times the opposite." And of course, every corporate scandal or financial meltdown brings fresh demands for tighter corporate governance, regulation, and codes. Yet a recent headline article in the Irish Examiner by European corporate governance expert Eugene McErlin said, quote, "Corporate governance codes are not working," unquote. By the way, his solution was to have more corporate governance codes. So we seem to have two worlds here. There is a large outside the boardroom block that makes most of the noise and comes up with new ideas. But then there's an inside the boardroom cadre who say they know what works for them, thank you. It would appear that both sides need to start paying a little more attention to each other. I'm Ralph Ward from the Boardroom for November.